Hello, welcome to CLSB Politics. Sean Briscoe speaking. So we've got Iowa primary. So Iowa's interesting. Iowa is literally where, how do you describe Iowa's primary? During the presidential cycle, it's Iowa State Fair. I mean, it is retail politics. Like there is a scenario where you could visit almost every home that's going to vote in the caucus. Iowa caucus is notoriously, in, you know, just like if you live in Iowa, you've probably met a few presidents. Like that's a normal thing. And definitely you've got your photos with multiple presidents at least, because it's just for such a long time it was such an important primary state. It's changed a little bit now, but it's still interesting. It's probably one of the weirdest, least gerrymandered states. I mean, look at this. This is what all states should actually look like. I mean, right? Like, there's just nothing. This is a very nice, politely districted state. It's almost 50-50 straight down the middle. Now, it is more Republican than Democrat, obviously, but those Republicans that are 50, 51, 50, that's just a, and given that Iowa's an agriculture state and all the things the GOP's done with the tariffs, and now they're bringing in steak from, agriculture products from out of country into the United States, which is now they can't sell their products out internationally, and now you're bringing international products in. It's like it's just a double whammy. I think Iowa's got some interesting dynamics going on right now, and I think it's going to be much more interesting than it has been in the past. As you can see, 4 is really the only hard R district, right? And then the other 3, I don't know, 1, 2, and 3 are, not terrible. Yeah, you can see they've got more blueberries in them than the other districts. And more importantly, and I always bring these up in my videos, you got to look at the counties that aren't red. They're not blue. They're not red. Now, going into those counties, you could see how maybe moving some of the needles in some of those counties would actually benefit the Democrat. Of course, there's also the suburbs around the blueberries. Those white areas, those white rings that you see, those are all suburbs or areas suburbish at least. You should be able to go in those with a field program and do some real damage to the GOP. Because once you start, using math and facts, their arguments tend to fall apart. It's white. This is like the next whitest state is like Nebraska and Wisconsin. It's a very white state. But I put this map here just so you know, even the cities are white. It's pretty wild. Iowa, wow. Like, Jesus. Anyway, if you like these videos I'm doing, of course, this is part of my series for doing all the primaries, all 50 of them, going right through before the December filings. Like and subscribe. You can go to my YouTube. I'm also on Blue Sky and Instagram and TikTok and Substack. Now, what's great about YouTube is you can go to my PayPal. It's right there at the bottom of the screen. And we love donations to the channel. Keeps us channeling. And then you can go to my Substack if you'd like to do something a little bit more interesting. $5 a month. I'm going to be putting out my papers and my write-ups and even share some of my PowerPoints. And also there will be interviews I'm doing with some of the candidates you're seeing in some of these primary videos. I'm reaching out to them, trying to get interviews with them. And those will all go on my Substack first. So you'll be the first one to see these candidates. So it's going to make for a very dynamic primary environment if you do the $5 donation. So yeah, check it out. Let's move on. Okay, let's start looking at some of these congressional districts a little closer. So District 1, which was the friendlier of those 3 that we're looking to flip. Wow. Worst kept secret. So what's interesting about this is Miller Meeks has actually got a crowded primary. Looking at like Grant Hill, Charlie McClintock, David Pouch. Sorry if I mispronounced your last name. That's a 4-way primary in the Republican primary, which is great from a Democratic point of view because we need them to spend money in the primary. And then we've got quite a few Democrats running. Now, when you look at the money, there just aren't, none of the Republicans seem to have raised much. But then Christina Bonin, 1.6. That's solid. That's by September. So that is a Democrat that's raising money to go fight the fight. And Taylor Wettock, that's correct, also doing pretty good. Almost, well over 500,000, by the time we go back and look at her in December or January, really. So this is absolutely a race that's happening. And it will be interesting to see if there's enough of the rural vote that's had enough of these Republican policies on agriculture that they're able to knock out Marinetti Miller Meeks. So that should be interesting. And in the Republican, there just doesn't seem to be a lot of money yet. So I'm not sure how much of a contested primary this is going to be, but it's a start, and we'll have to see what that really looks like. District 2, lots of Democrats running for this seat and a couple of Republicans. It isn't an incumbent that I was able to identify. So, we're looking at, the Democrats are raising money. You've got Linda James is by far the leader at $250,000. And, Cedar Rapids is in this district. So there's some real urban areas. If Lindsay keeps doing what Lindsay's doing, then I think, we've got a real race on our hands. Now, the only Republican District 2 that's got any real money is Joe Mitchell, sitting at $405,000. That's doing well, better than the Democrat as far as fundraising goes. But you have to understand the Republicans are running almost every branch of government. So we'll see where the independents in Iowa go here. Also, it's just the District 2's in play. And I think the Republicans know it. District 3, it's the other one that I kind of liked. Not as easy as 1 and 2, but, in play. Lots of Democrats running for this one. When you look at the money, Sarah Trun Garrett's definitely in the lead. As of September, she'd raised over $600,000. That's solid, especially when you're looking at Zach Nunn, which is an incumbent, sitting at 1.6. They'll raise another 300, so they're probably at 2 now. If Sarah's over $1 million, this election's in June, so lots of time to raise money. Lots of time. Jennifer Confirst has raised a good bit. So we'll see how that plays out. And then you've got Landon picking up the back end there at $25,000, but probably just started raising money. We'll see what that really looks like as it gets closer. District 4, I'll be honest, I was surprised to see so many Democrats running for this seat. It's a heavy lift. And when we started looking at the money, really none of the Democrats had raised anything. But what's interesting here is that the Republicans not like sitting on a huge mountain of cash. And then there's 2 other Republicans that are probably well over $500,000 by the time you're watching this video. We'll know more, of course, in January, but this is a real primary. And if there's a Democrat that can raise some money coming in the backfield, and the Republicans really are just pooping the bed with the agriculture industry right now, which is a lot of their base vote. A lot of them are connected to that. They either stay home or try to teach their party a lesson. This seat could get interesting. I was You should never underestimate an Iowan when it comes to literacy and politics and understanding policy, because they get a lot of it. So it's an interesting seat, not one of my tops for this state, but definitely worth watching. Yeah, so District 4, when you really do break it down, there's only one Democrat's raised any money, and it's 30 grand. It's enough to get your website, enough to get your logo out there, enough to start maybe going to a couple of events, see how much money they can raise over the next few months, see what they look like in January, see if this is a real race in June. So thanks for watching. That was Iowa in a nutshell. You can check me out at my website or at YouTube, Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, or Substack. All right. Hope everyone had a great day. This is we're more than halfway through these states, and we're just going to keep pounding on them until we get them all done. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.